Hey, it's Cassandra Mack at strategiesforempoweredliving.com and my new website, strategiesforlifeministries.com. And today I want to talk to you about when people hate you, when people are hating on you for no apparent reason. They have a reason, but it's not apparent. So, what do you do, right, when it is evident that somebody is hating on you and you know that you haven't done anything to them? You know that you haven't stolen from them. You didn't have a fallout with a friend. And this is just a kind of hate that is rooted in envy. It's important to know that whenever your presence diminishes somebody else's significance, you are going to deal with haterism. Hate, particularly hate rooted in envy, is the mind's way of protecting the ego from dealing with insecurity. So if you're dealing with an individual, right, who has to be the shiniest object in the room, they're the only person who can be gifted. They're the only person who can have talents. They're the only person who can be a valuable employee on the job. They can be the only person who the kids like if you work, for social services in an organization with kids. They are the only one who can make a great macaroni salad, potato salad, or sweet potato pie, and here you come with your pie, and it's delicious too. Whatever the issue is, whenever you're dealing with someone, right, who has to be the shiniest object in the room, and they believe that for you to shine means that somehow they're diminished, and they don't realize that the sun really is big enough for everybody to shine. The Bible says your gifts will make room for you, and that means each of us, our gifts will make room for you. There's room on the planet for everybody's gifts. You need singers, but you need dancers too. You need writers, but you need editors, and the list goes on. You get the point that I'm making, that there's room enough for diversity on this planet. But sometimes you get on the job, or you'll get in a neighborhood, or in your personal life, you'll get around people who will try to diminish you, minimize you, ignore your presence, talk about you, gossip about you, spread lies, total lies. There are people who will tell lies on you. That's how deep their resentment of you goes, simply because you're showing up for life, doing what you do, giving it your all. And there are people who won't like that because they somehow think that your shine takes away from their shine. They somehow think that your grind and shine, particularly if you were grinding, you're out there hustling, doing what you got to do to grow your business if you work for yourself, or to just do what you do at work. And there are people who will not like you because of it. I want you to know that their hatred of you is not about you. It's about their own insecurity. And sometimes when we are on the receiving end of that type of hate, it can cause you to diminish your light. It can cause you to stop really, participating in life and showing up for life as your full self. And it can cause us to not bring our gifts to the table. And when you bring your gifts to the table, it really is a gift because we need it all, right? We need problem solvers. We need creative people. We need people who could look at something very quickly, tell you what's wrong with it, and fine tune it. But we also need visionaries. Your gifts will make room for you. And here's the thing about shade, right? Because a lot of times when you're dealing with someone who's hating on you, whether it's on the low, or whether they're openly hostile, right? They're sucking their teeth, giving you the side eye, rolling their eyes. Whenever you raise your hand to talk in a meeting, they're like, oh gosh. And they're making it pretty apparent that they don't like you. They're giving you what I call the mean girl treatment or the mean guy treatment. And they're rallying up the troops, meaning they're getting other people on their side to turn against you. But you know what? They never liked you anyway. They never liked you anyway. It's one of two things. If somebody's mind, right, can be influenced and they don't even know you, they've never had a conversation with you, and they're trusting the opinion of a gossip, of a person who has malice and larceny in their heart over you, then it shows you they either never liked you anyway, they're weak-minded, or they have no backbone. It's one of the three. So why would you even worry about somebody who never liked you anyway, who's weak-minded, and who has no backbone? Now, they may have backbone to be loud and ratchet. That's not having backbone. That's having no class. But they don't have the backbone to get to know you for themselves, to put away their insecurities, and to see the light within themselves. The only reason, right? The only reason why a person puts their shades on. Think about it, right? When a person is throwing shade at you. The only reason a person puts on shades is when they're in the direct path of the sun. When they're in the direct path of the sun. When they are overwhelmed by the brilliance of the sun, that's the only time you really need to put on shades. So what that means is that your light, right? Your loving spirit, your gifts, your talents, the fact that you are in a good place with you, your confidence, your self-assurance is so blinding. It's so brilliant. You give off so much light when you enter in the room. You don't even have to open up your mouth. Your energy goes ahead of you. Your energy speaks for you. And people hate you because of it. So they feel the need to throw on shade because when you enter a room, your brilliance lights up that room. And they don't realize that they have it too. That's the sad thing about haters. They're so busy looking at your light and trying to dim your light that they don't realize that they have light. All they have to do is ignite that power from within, and then they would see how powerful, how gifted, how talented they are in their own right. Everybody's not going to be a great singer. Everybody's not going to be a prolific writer. Everybody's not going to make the meanest sweet potato pie, but there's something you do well. And if you get your focus off of other people and focus on fine-tuning you, there's never a reason to be jealous of somebody else. The thing about a Christmas tree, right, is when you look at a Christmas tree in all of its brilliance, with all of its shiny ornaments, right? What you notice about a Christmas tree is the more ornaments that you put on the tree, the more beautiful that tree is. And there's not one particular ornament usually that looks better than the other. All of the ornaments are the shiniest object because they all bring their own light and their own beauty and their own presence with them. So it's really important that you don't personalize it because you will make yourself crazy trying to change who you are and dim your light for people whose hatred is rooted in envy. And see, the reason why they hate you, because it's easier to say, I can't stand her. She thinks she's all that. I hate her guts. I can't stand looking at his stuff. I hate the fact that they have this and they have that. It's easier for them to sit there and count your blessings and to worry about what you have and how you're growing and how influential you are than it is for them to look at their own life and put in the work. You can't worry about people who are on the sidelines if you're in the game and you're hitting these baseball bats because you're in the game. You're always going to have people on the sidelines who are going to critique what you do. But you know why you can't worry about them? Because they're not playing the game. Do you think a star baseball player or a star basketball player who's making millions of dollars, who's in the game, has time to worry about the people in the bleachers who were screaming, saying negative stuff and saying how much they can't stand them? If they were to pay attention to that, that would take their focus off playing their game. You got to play your game in life. You got to bring your brilliance wherever you go. And always remember, when people put on shade, right? When they throw shade at you, the only reason a person is throwing shade is because they're in the direct path of your sun, of your brilliance, of your light. So you keep on shining. You keep on being beautiful. You keep on being gifted and talented. Your gifts will make room for you. I want to invite you to two very special events. They're prayer calls, but they're not just prayer calls, they're prayer calls and they are Bible lessons and they're really strategies for empowered living, but from a biblical perspective that will help you cope with change and manage the many facets of what I like to call the ups and downs of life. So our first one is a business prayer call, and that's happening this coming Thursday, which is the 23rd at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're in a different time zone, make sure to adjust your time frame accordingly. And it's the Blessing Your Business prayer call, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the information in terms of how to access that call is on the site strategiesforlifeministries.com, or you can go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/Cassandra Mack and Friends, so that you can get the information for that call. And we're going to be talking about the principle of breaking and multiplying. As an industry leader or an entrepreneur, you're going to have seasons where it looks like, things are not moving, things are not gelling, you're not seeing growth. And it's important during these seasons to understand the principle of breaking and multiplying, because God always breaks before he multiplies. When we think about the miracle of of feeding our 5,000 people, when Jesus took 2 loaves, 5 fish, and was able to feed multitudes, 5,000 people, there were actually 5,000 witnesses to this miracle. Jesus took the bread, gave thanks, broke it, then he multiplied. So there's always a process of breaking something, breaking a trait, a characteristic, a fear, before God is able to multiply something. So we want to look at that in this call. It's a quick call, 15 minutes, just enough to get the principle, get the lesson, and apply it. And then this coming Sunday, which I believe is the 25th, at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do a call. It's a prayer call, prayer and teaching call, called the Sunday Morning Half Hour of Power. And this coming Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, our topic will be, Who Told You You Were Naked? Dealing with the fear of vulnerability. So we're going to talk about, how do you deal with the fear of vulnerability, with the fear of people seeing your weaknesses and using them against you. That will be this coming Sunday, 9 a.m., Sunday morning, half hour of power. Go on the site, strategiesforlife.com. I got to keep up with the sites. That's strategiesforlifeministries.com. That is the ministry site, strategiesforlifeministries.com. And that will have all the information about the ministry, the prayer calls, and all the exciting things we're doing in the teaching ministry. My other website, strategiesfoремpoweredliving.com, is my training and development organizational website, where I come out to organizations to conduct professional development training, and I have a host of books on that website. So you have both ways to stay in touch with me. Always remember, you hold the pen that writes the chapters of your life. Make your story a great one. Take care of yourself and each other. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.